Hello and welcome to the Pathfinder Outdoor Kitchen. I'm Matt Mercer, instructor for the Pathfinder School and the founder of the Black App Bushcraft channel right here on YouTube. And this afternoon I've come out into the back pasture of my new property, which I'm super excited about. This will be the first video I've ever filmed on this property. And I'm here in the back corner of the pasture where I've mowed out a big circle for a campsite. And I've set up a nice little fire pit here, got the fire iron set up and everything. And today we're going to be cooking up, of course, a delicious subscriber submitted recipe, which means somebody, one of you guys, will be winning some free Pathfinder outdoor cooking gear coming to you from Reliance Outfitters. We're going to talk about a very special opportunity in honor of today's show for those of you guys that might be interested in that. And of course, we're going to be cooking up some delicious food, which I can't wait for. So with all that said, let's get started on Pathfinder Outdoor Kitchen. Alright, so it's now that special time in our show where we talk about today's recipe and of course announce our winner of the day. And without further ado, congratulations Mr. Wild Hillbilly for your submission of Charlie's recipe. And I'm not sure who Charlie is, and I don't think Mr. Wild Hillbilly knows anymore either. But essentially this is a recipe for beef and bean tacos, and of course we're going to spice them up and add several ingredients in, and I think it's going to be a good versatile recipe, one that probably will suit the tastes of many people in camp, and it's again a versatile recipe. You could adjust it to make it to your liking. So I'm going to spice it up a little bit today according to my taste, and it's going to be a good hearty meal cooked right here on our campfire, which is getting heated up and getting some coals in that pit. I'm looking forward to this. And of course, Mr. Wild Hillbilly will be receiving a free care package with all of the base camp cook set gear that I used today to make this recipe. So, thank you, sir, for your submission, and I'm looking forward to trying this one. Let's get back to it. Alright, so while we're getting some coals formed over in the fire pit, I'm going to do a little food prep, and I have here just a simple onion. So we're just going to dice this down real fine. Once we dice it down, we'll just throw it into our skillet and keep the lid on it until it's time to cook. So I'm cooking 1 pound of hamburger. I guess I'll go ahead and just cut up the whole onion. That's what the recipe calls for. And a lot of times I shrink these recipes down because it's just me out here eating all this. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm sure if I take home, the leftovers will be enjoyed by somebody. Alright, looks nice and pretty. We'll just take that onion and drop it right on into our 10-inch skillet here. Have that set aside for when we need it. A little peel in there. Alright, so now that we've got some decent coals here in our fire pit, I'm going to use this forged swing arm cook set to hold my skillet today. And of course we already got those onions in there. I'm gonna just set my lid over here on the ground, I guess. And I have a little bit of cooking oil here, and I'm just gonna pour some of that cooking oil in to cook those. And I'm gonna stew those down for just a minute, and then I'm gonna add our hamburger in. Alright, so they're starting to sizzle a little bit. And just kind of move those around and make sure that I'm getting them coated with oil. What we'll do is put our lid on for a couple minutes, let that get real good and hot, and then we'll add our hamburger in the mix. Alright, so it's been a couple minutes. As you can hear, we got a little sizzling action going there. Already smelling good in the skillet. Very nice. What I'm going to do is go ahead and add in 1 pound of hamburger here, and I've just had this chilled in a little soft side cooler. And that's easy to pack, just enough space to keep my hamburger cool. And this is where that spatula really comes in handy, because you're able to kind of chop up meat and things like that in the pan. So it gives that sharp edge, that straight edge, to help mix things up within your skillet. So it's just a great handy tool. This little Pathfinder model sure is lightweight and easy to pack. We'll let that get hot. We'll come right back to it in a minute. All right, so let's take a look again. Yeah, much better. Putting a little bit of heat up under here definitely helps. The handle's gotten hot here by the fire. We'll grab that glove. Use it as a pot holder. Get creative with what we got sometimes. Honestly, I'm surprised this stuff's not cooking faster considering how hot it is by this fire. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and add in something that was not in the recipe. This stuff is called Valentina, and I usually use the liquid version of this, and we'll use it later in our preparation today. But I'm going to just add a little bit of that to the pan to give it some spice. It's kind of a sweet, citrusy, hot, little bit of salt. It's a great seasoning for these Mexican-inspired dishes. I just love this stuff. So I think it'll add some kick to this today. And in a few minutes, we'll add our next ingredient once this hamburger browns up to my liking. And that's going to be a can of ranch-style beans. Or, in my case, I couldn't find any ranch beans, so I got chili beans. So we'll let this go ahead and cook down a little bit further, and then we'll add our beans to the mix. Man, that smells good. By the way, do you have a favorite recipe that you like to enjoy when you're recreating in the great outdoors or just hanging around your favorite camp? If so, go ahead and submit a copy of that recipe to me at the email address at the bottom of your screen, and that'll get your name and your recipe entered into our data bank of recipes that I pull from each time I come out to film a new episode of the show. Remember, this will get you an opportunity to win free outdoor cooking gear from Reliance Outfitters, and it'll give me a chance to try your favorite recipe right out here in the great outdoors. So I hope to hear from you guys, and I look forward to seeing your recipes come in, and I definitely look forward to trying these recipes right here on our show. Don't wait, send them over today. All right, let's take a look and see how we're coming along here. That's looking like what I wanted. Those onions have really softened up well. And I think that we're going to be good to add our next ingredient, which is going to be our beans. That stuff is starting to look and smell really good. All right, I'm convinced that we can now add in our next ingredient. And what we have here is just some chili beans. I couldn't find anything that said ranch beans, so I'm assuming this is probably in the same vein as that. And what we're going to do is add our can of beans right in here with our beef. And we're going to just mix all this stuff up together. That is some hearty food right there. If you're spending time in camp, especially in a winter camp, fall camp, cold weather, this right here would definitely give you some good fuel to keep you going. Processing wood, hiking, yep, running a trap line, that right there will keep you going. Let's let it get hot, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so in honor of today's episode of Pathfinder Outdoor Kitchen, Reliance Outfitters has agreed to do a special sale on my gear choices for the day. And we're gonna call this set that I'm using the Base Camp Cook Set. And it's basically 4 pieces of gear that would give you everything that you need to cook up a wide array of recipes in your base camp. Again, these pieces are a little bit larger. We have here the 10-inch stainless skillet, which is a heavy bottom skillet. Will allow you to cook up food for probably 2 to 4 people easily. And we have here the 128-ounce stainless steel bush pot, which is a bigger pot to allow you to cook, again, a larger volume of food to serve a camp with multiple people in it. This stainless steel folding handle skillet is just an awesome skillet. You can see here that embossed Pathfinder and Bayou Classic logo. This was a collaboration between Self-Reliance Outfitters and Bayou Classic. You have this nice stainless steel lid. It is a recessed lid, which allows you to put coals on top of this lid, which I've done in multiple episodes of the show before, and use this skillet much like a Dutch oven. You have that nice, thick, heavy bottom, which you can see here, which heats up and holds heat really well. It doesn't have the same hot spots that a thin bottom skillet would have, and it holds heat a little bit longer. So that heavy bottom is a real asset in my opinion. You have this nice folding handle, which allows you to either A, remove the handle if you choose to do that. I never do that. I'm more likely to lose it, I believe. But with this handle here, you can fold it up under the skillet, just like this. And it just makes it a little bit easier to get it into a skillet bag, which I brought mine in today, or to put it in a pack or pack basket, something like that. And just slide that lock down, and now you have a nice secure handle, so you can handle the skillet over the fire. Of course, stainless steel is a very versatile cooking medium, as it's easy to clean up. You don't have to worry about seasoning it like you would a traditional carbon steel or cast iron. You can get in there and scrub that thing out with steel wool if you need to, and you don't have to worry about it. The 128 ounce stainless bush pot is fantastic. We have a bail to hang it over the fire on a toggle, such as a tripod or cook set like I'm using today. You have your folding handles. These are large, oversized handles, so you can grab this thing with a glove. You have a nice pour spout on this. Just an awesome, perfect pot when you're cooking out in the woods. So many things that you can do with that. We also have two other pieces I'm using today. One is the Pathfinder Stainless Steel tongs. These are awesome tongs to have a little hook here so you can grab the bail of your bush pot to move it off the fire. Moving things around the fire is awesome to have so you don't burn your hands. And tongs are about as versatile a tool as you could have in a camp, around a cooking fire. And we have the folding stainless steel little Pathfinder spatula here. The handle folds out and just have a clip that slips down and locks it into place. Once again, we have that same little hook here so we can grab hold of the bail on our pot if we're not using the tongs. And just a handy little spatula to have when you're cooking in your skillet or around the fire. So this is the base camp cook kit, and we're going to put this on sale today for $82.99, which is, I think, over 20% off of the retail price of all these items. These are items that I come back to over and over when I'm cooking in the woods. This stainless steel skillet has cooked just about everything for me at some point. The bush pot, indispensable. You could really get along with just that in the woods and do well. The tongs and the spatula are lightweight, no nonsense utensils to have. This is, to me, a perfect kit, especially for a base camp. $82.99 is a great deal on this, about as good a price as you're going to see these pieces of kit. So if this is something you're interested in, feel free to take advantage of this offer in honor of today's episode of Pathfinder Outdoor Kitchen. Let's get back to cooking. All right, so while our beef and beans are cooking down over there, I have one more ingredient to process, and that is just a russet potato. And I'm going to slice this thing fairly thin. I'm not going to bother to peel it. And I know it says peel it in the recipe, but I don't know. I'm just not in the mood to peel the potato today, so I'm going to go with the skin on. And from there, what we're going to do is drop these slices into some hot oil in our bush pot and just deep fry these things in grease. And that's going to give us some fried potatoes, which I know will be good. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. So what I'm going to do with these potatoes is I'm just going to put them here in our plate like this, because we got a ton of flies out here today, and I'm just going to use that as a lid. Perfect. So I have here just a piece of paracord with a simple overhand knot tied in it. I just have a little wooden toggle that I've carved a notch in. We're going to take our cordage and go over top of our toggle, cross back over the line like this. And now we just come underneath and back through that loop, just like this. And that gives us what's called a locking lark's head. We just want to run that cordage down until it bites up against that little knot that we had, that little stopper knot there. And now we have a nice secure connection to our toggle, and we can hang our bush pot over this fire using the bail. That's one of the reasons why having a bail on your bush pot is so important. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is add in some oil to my bush pot that we can use to fry up our potatoes. And I'm just gonna pour this whole bottle in there in this 128 ounce bush pot. That just does give me about an inch of oil at the bottom. And when we finish, we can always collect that oil back up into our bottle for another cooking later. I'm gonna throw some wood on this fire, and we're gonna hang our bush pot with a toggle over top of the fire. And that way we can deep fry these potatoes. All right, so I think I'm right where I need to be with this oil. So let's go ahead and drop some more potatoes in the pan. I want to be extra careful not to splash that mess on me. Seeing that right there makes me want to have a fish fry. I think that's good for round one. All right, so I definitely think some of these things are ready. When they start floating like that and they start turning brown, you know you're pretty much there. I wish I had some paper towels to drain the grease off, but that's all right. Just adding a little bit of this Valentina spice on there, maybe just a little extra. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, that's gonna be our first sample right there. All right, so while our potatoes are finishing up, we're gonna add just a little bit of this Mexican cheese right to the top of our beef and bean mixture here. Just let that melt all over the top of this. Oh man. I cannot wait. All right, so it's that special time I have been working for a while here. I have a package of tortillas, and I laid these right out in direct sunlight just to get it nice and warm inside this plastic bag. And they are nice and warm. Moisture kind of steamed them just a little bit, which is perfect. And now I have my skillet here full of our beef and bean mixture. Let me just set that over here to the side. It's a little bit hot. Oh man, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm gonna put some of that stuff here in my tortilla. Looks so good. Smells so good. And the bugs are all about it as well. Set that aside here. Put the lid back on it so the bugs don't get more than their fair share. And now what I'm gonna do is put just a little bit of this liquid Valentina sauce, just a dribble. All right, and in the recipe, we call for jalapenos, optional. But I'm gonna add a couple of these. Now, you could use fresh jalapenos, but I kinda like these pickled ones. So I'm gonna throw about 3 of those up here, spread them out just a little bit, not to overpower. And now, get away gnats. I'm gonna roll this thing up as best I can. All right, a little bit of sample there. All right, and I'm gonna cover this up to keep the bugs off of it. We are almost ready to eat, guys. All right, you guys know what it's time for, that official meal reveal, and the bugs are super excited about it, so I'm gonna do it quick. We have our skillet full of beef and beans and onions stewed down to perfection with that Mexican cheese on top. I didn't even drain the fat off because it adds to the flavor and the sustenance of this meal. Man, that's looking good. Now we have our plate fixed here. Just used a Pathfinder cutting board to make a platter. We got those fried potatoes with all of that Valentina spice, sweet and tangy, and our soft steamed tortilla with that beef and bean mixture inside, a little bit of jalapenos. You guys know this is going to be an awesome, awesome Mexican inspired meal, and I cannot wait to eat it. Oh yeah. All right, well, it's finally that time that I so look forward to each show, when all the cooking is done and I get to sit down and enjoy the fruits of my labor, a delicious hot meal right out here in the beautiful great outdoors. But anytime I'm going to enjoy a meal right out here, I like to take just a minute to give thanks. All right, well, it is now time for the official taste test. And I will tell you guys, the bugs are absolutely fierce today. So I'm trying to cover my food and keep the bugs off of it, because it's that time that happens each year in fall when like the bugs are about to get that first freeze and they just panic, and it seems like they just drive us crazy each year. So official taste test. That is full of flavor. You definitely don't get nothing like that at Taco Bell. Woohoo! That is absolutely delicious. Of course, those jalapenos and that Valentina sauce pop right out. But that chili flavor from the chili beans, and that fat from the hamburger, gives it that hearty flavor. So good. And this is actually the first food I've eaten today. I didn't eat breakfast, and it's after 1 o'clock right now, so I'm definitely ready. These potatoes are good. Got that good russet flavor. That Valentina gives it a little hint of citrus, a little salt. Really good. I think these would be good if you cut them up or dice them up and put them into the burrito itself. That would be really nice. This stuff right here is so good. I just love Valentina sauce. I could put it on just about anything. Yeah, that stuff's so good. It's a shame I have to cover my food. The bugs are going to carry it away if I don't. Just don't need anything. No extra sauce. It's perfect, just like it is. Nothing graceful about eating this food right here. And of course, once again, I had to bring you guys in and give you a nice, delicious bite. Look at that. Oh man, all that beef and beans, those stewed onions. Get you a bite of that spicy potato. You guys know that's some good food. I'm probably eating a couple of gnats with it. I don't know if the gnats want to eat my food or they just want to eat me, because they're all around me. All right, when you're eating spicy Mexican food on a hot day, what do you need to drink with it? Oh yeah, delicious Mexican pineapple soda. Still a little bit chilled. Man, that stuff is good. So good. Perfect to go along with this meal. All right, so I'm not gonna keep torturing you guys eating these delicious beef and bean burritos with these fried potatoes, AKA Charlie's recipe, but I did wanna take just a moment once again to say thank you to Wild Hillbilly for sending me this recipe. My family loves Mexican food, and I know they're gonna enjoy this one, so I definitely plan to cook it up again for all of them. And I hope that you yourself will get out and give this one a try, especially if you're enjoying some of these cooler fall temperatures we've had lately. Maybe get out and make yourself a fire and cook up a delicious meal over the fire, and I know you'll have some good food and some good times, make some good memories while you're out cooking. So once again, if you guys have not subscribed to the Self-Reliance Outfitters YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. That way you'll stay notified of all of our upcoming videos and episodes of Pathfinder Outdoor Kitchen. And if you want to go back and look at some of our older episodes of the show, I know you'll find some really good recipes there. If you haven't already seen those, I definitely think you'll enjoy those episodes. Go back and check them out. So I look forward to talking to you guys again in a couple of weeks with another episode of Pathfinder Outdoor Kitchen. And until that one, y'all take care and be safe. I got some eating to do. By the way, don't forget about our special deal through Self-Reliance Outfitters on this base camp cook set that I used for our video today. This is an awesome set of stainless steel cook gear that you can use at home or in the field. And these are pieces that I keep coming back to over and over because they are such versatile pieces. With a 10-inch stainless skillet, a 128-ounce bush pot, a spatula, and a pair of tongs, you can cook a lot of different meals, a wide variety of food. So if you're in the market for some stainless steel cookware, definitely give this set a look, and this is a chance for you to save more than 20% off the retail price. And that's not something that you see a whole lot with SRO, Self-Reliance Outfitters. That's a really, really good deal. These pieces will move quickly, so if you're in the market for this, go and give this one a look, and there'll be a link down below in the description box. Take care, guys.